Success tastes like expensive champagne and bitter almonds. I watch my sister Olivia raise her crystal flute, basking in the adoration of our family gathered around the mahogany dining table. The candlelight catches her perfect smile, the one she's practiced since childhood. To Olivia, our mother Linda announces, her voice trembling with pride. Accepted into Harvard Law with a full scholarship. We always knew you were destined for greatness. I take a measured sip from my own glass, letting the bubbles burn my throat. My acceptance letter from Columbia's finance program sits crumpled in my desk drawer upstairs, unopened for 3 weeks. Not that anyone asked. Thank you, everyone, Olivia says, dabbing at non-existent tears. I couldn't have done it without your support. Our father Mark beams, his hand resting on Olivia's shoulder. That's what family is for, sweetheart. We invest in excellence. The word invest makes my stomach clench. Yesterday, they refused my request for help with tuition. We just can't stretch ourselves that thin right now, Mom had said, not meeting my eyes. The same day, I watched Dad write a check for Olivia's new MacBook. I'm Samantha, though sometimes I wonder if my parents remember that. 24 years of being the shadow to Olivia's spotlight does things to a person. Makes them harder, colder, more determined. Sam, Olivia calls out, her voice dripping honey. You're awfully quiet tonight. Aren't you happy for your big sister? I force my lips into what I hope passes for a smile. Ecstatic. Grandmother Martha catches my eye from across the table. She sees right through me, always has. Her slight nod tells me we'll talk later. She and Grandpa George are the only ones who've ever really seen me. Daniel and I are thinking about moving in together after graduation, Olivia announces, and the table erupts in fresh excitement. Her boyfriend squeezes her hand, looking every bit the successful young lawyer in his tailored suit. That's wonderful news. Mom clasps her hands together. Daniel, you're such a perfect match for our Olivia. I push my chair back abruptly, the legs scraping against hardwood. Excuse me, I mutter. Bathroom. Instead of heading upstairs, I slip out onto the back porch. The night air is thick with summer heat and the sound of cicadas. I pull out my phone, checking the email from Emma again. My college roommate's recommendation could land me an interview at Horizon Investments, a real shot at making it on my own. You're not fooling anyone with that bathroom excuse. Grandpa George's voice startles me. He closes the door behind him, joining me at the railing. Your grandmother and I have been talking. I turn to face him, trying to keep my voice steady. About what? About that acceptance letter you've been hiding? He pulls an envelope from his jacket pocket. A check. We may not have Harvard money, but we have enough to get you started. My vision blurs. Grandpa, I can't. You can and you will. His weathered hand covers mine. Some people bloom early, like your sister. Others take their time, growing stronger roots first. You're going to surprise them all, Samantha. And we want front row seats when you do. Inside, I hear glasses clinking and laughter. Olivia's voice carries through the windows, telling another story where she's the hero. I fold the check carefully, tucking it into my pocket. Thank you, I whisper. But I'm not just thanking him for the money. I'm thanking him for seeing me, for believing in me when no one else did. Just remember, he says quietly, success is the best revenge. But make sure you don't lose yourself getting there. I nod, but something shifts inside me as we stand there in the darkness. The hurt and resentment crystallize into something harder, something with edges sharp enough to cut. They want Olivia to be the golden child? Fine. I'll show them what the shadow is capable of. Let them celebrate tonight. Their perfect daughter, their perfect future. They have no idea what's coming. I touch the check in my pocket and smile. The Greyhound station smells like stale coffee and broken dreams. My suitcase handle digs into my palm as I stand between my grandparents, watching other passengers board. No sign of my parents or Olivia. They're probably still sleeping off last night's celebration. You've got everything? Grandmother Martha fusses with my coat collar. The emergency credit card we gave you? Yes, and the care package, and the extra cash. I manage a smile, though my chest feels like it's being squeezed in a vice. I'll be fine. Grandpa George clears his throat. Columbia won't know what hit them? His voice is gruff, but his eyes are suspiciously bright. Remember what we talked about. The memory of last night's conversation on the porch steadies me. Success is the best revenge. I've repeated those words like a mantra since dawn. Final boarding call for New York City. Crackles over the intercom. That's when I hear her. Samantha, wait! Olivia runs toward us, perfectly coiffed despite the early hour, Daniel trailing behind her. My stomach clenches. Of course she'd show up now, stealing the spotlight of even my departure. You weren't going to leave without saying goodbye? She pulls me into a hug that feels more like a performance than affection. I convinced Mom and Dad to let me drive over, but they had that important breakfast meeting. Right, I step back. The country club thing. They send their love. She hands me a small gift bag. A going-away present. Open it on the bus. The driver calls out impatiently. I hug my grandparents one last time, their embrace solid and real compared to Olivia's artificial warmth. I'll call when I get there. Show them what you're made of, Grandpa whispers. On the bus, I wait until we're rolling past the city limits before opening Olivia's gift. Inside is a cheap diary with butterflies on the cover, the kind you'd grab last minute from a drugstore. The card reads, Dear Sam, something to write home about. XOXO. Olivia. I stuff it under the seat. My phone buzzes. A text from Emma, my assigned roommate. Can't wait to meet you. I've got connections in the finance department. Let's talk when you get here. The landscape blurs past my window. Small-town familiarity giving way to highway anonymity. My hand finds the acceptance letter in my jacket pocket, thumbing its crisp edges. Unlike Olivia's Harvard announcement, mine came without fanfare. I'd checked the mailbox obsessively for weeks, intercepting it before anyone else could see. 4 hours into the journey, my phone lights up again. This time it's Sarah, Olivia's friend from high school. We've barely spoken 2 words to each other before. Hey, Sam. Thought you should know. Olivia's telling everyone she's helping put you through school, taking credit for your grandparents' generosity. Thought it was messed up. Good luck in NY. My fingers hover over the keyboard, but I close the message without responding. Add it to the list. Every slight, every dismissal, every moment of being overshadowed. They're all fuel now. The bus stops at a dingy station in Pennsylvania. While other passengers shuffle off for coffee, I pull out my laptop and start researching. Investment firms in New York, corporate leadership tracks, networking opportunities. Emma's message mentioned connections. I'll use every single one. My phone buzzes again. Mom this time. Hope you packed enough warm clothes? Your sister says New York gets cold. She would know. She did that summer internship there last year. Maybe she can give you some tips. I switch off the phone. The diary catches my eye under the seat. I retrieve it, running my fingers over its cheap binding. Then I open to the first page and begin to write. Not the flowery thoughts Olivia probably imagined, but numbers, goals, targets. A timeline for success that will make their champagne toasts look like child's play. The bus lurches forward, carrying me toward New York, toward Columbia, toward a future where I'm not just the other daughter, the shadow sister, the afterthought at family dinners. Let them think I'm running away. Let them believe I'm the weak one, seeking escape. They'll learn. I close the diary, tucking it into my bag. The highway stretches ahead, endless and dark, but I'm not afraid anymore. Fear is for people who have something to lose. All I have is everything to gain, and a score to settle. The corner office at Horizon Investments gleams with possibility. My Columbia diploma hangs beside my desk. A reminder of 4 years of relentless work. Emma's recommendation got me through the door, but my performance made them create this position specifically for me. Miss Reynolds? My assistant Sarah pokes her head in. Your sister's here. She doesn't have an appointment. Of course she doesn't. Olivia's never needed appointments. Doors just open for her. Send her in. I straighten my blazer, adjusting my posture to match the height of my ergonomic chair. Olivia sweeps in wearing Chanel, her engagement ring catching the morning light. Little sister, this is quite the setup you've got here. Her smile doesn't reach her eyes. Though I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Emma's always had excellent connections. Did you need something, Olivia? I have a meeting in 20 minutes. She perches on the edge of my desk, a habit from childhood that always made me feel like she was looking down at me. Can I just visit? Mom and Dad mentioned you haven't been returning their calls. I've been busy. I gesture to the stack of reports on my desk. The Morrison merger isn't going to analyze itself. The Morrison merger? Something flickers across her face. That's interesting. Daniel's firm is handling their legal work. My stomach tightens. Daniel. Of course. Actually, she continues, examining her manicure, that's partly why I'm here. Daniel mentioned some concerns about your team's approach. He thought, given our family connection, I might be able to help smooth things over. Smooth things over? The words taste like acid. Just some friendly advice. The Morrisons are very traditional. They might not respond well to such an aggressive strategy from someone so new to the industry. I lean back, studying her. And I suppose Daniel has a better suggestion? He's worked with them for years. If you'd like, we could discuss it over dinner tonight. Just the three of us, like old times. Old times. When she'd convince our parents that my ideas were actually hers. When she'd offer help that somehow always left me looking incompetent. I appreciate the offer, I say, my voice steady. But I trust my analysis. The board does too. Sam. Her tone shifts to the one she used when explaining why she should get the car on prom night. I'm trying to help you. You've always been so resistant to guidance. Remember what happened with your college applications? The memory hits like a slap. Her helping by suggesting I apply to safety schools instead of Columbia. Her convenient forgetting to mail my early decision application. My meeting's in 15 minutes, Olivia. Was there anything else? She stands, smoothing her skirt. Just think about dinner. Daniel and I only want what's best for you. She pauses at the door. Oh, and Mom wanted me to remind you about Sunday dinner. It's been months, Sam. They miss you. After she leaves, I pull up my email. 3 messages from Daniel's firm, all suggesting modifications to my merger analysis. Each one would effectively gut my strategy, turning a bold move into something safe, something mediocre. My phone buzzes. Emma. Heard about the Morrison situation. Daniel's been making calls. Watch your back. I open my desk drawer, pulling out the diary Olivia gave me years ago. Its pages are filled with goals, strategies, and a growing list of debts to repay. I add today's visit to the tally. Sarah appears again. Miss Reynolds? The board meeting's been moved up. They want to discuss the Morrison deal. Now. I gather my files, my mind racing. This isn't coincidence. Olivia's visit, Daniel's emails, the sudden meeting change. They're trying to outmaneuver me. Again, but I'm not that girl on the bus anymore, clutching a cheap diary and dreaming of revenge. I've built something here, earned my place, and I'll be damned if I let them take it. Sarah, I call out as I head for the boardroom. Cancel my dinner plans for the next month. We're going to be very busy. The elevator ride feels endless. I catch my reflection in the polished doors, shoulders back, chin high, every inch the professional they never thought I could be. Olivia wants to play games? Fine, but this time I know exactly what I'm doing. The board members are already seated when I arrive. I see the doubt in their eyes, the whispers of concern no doubt planted by Daniel's helpful calls. I open my presentation folder and smile. Let the game begin. The Morrison deal closes on a Thursday. I should be celebrating, but instead, I'm staring at an email that makes my blood run cold. It's from an anonymous account containing documents that show Daniel's firm has been feeding insider information to Olivia about Horizon's acquisitions for months. My office phone rings. Emma. Have you seen it? Her voice is tight. The SEC filing discrepancies I found? They all trace back to dates when Daniel's firm handled our paperwork. I close my eyes, remembering Olivia's perfectly timed visits, her casual mentions of market trends, the way she always seemed to know our next move. How long have you known? I started digging after the board meeting. Sam, there's more. Your sister's been meeting with our competitors. She's leveraging your family connection to undermine your position here. The words hit like physical blows. I've always known Olivia was manipulative, but this level of calculation feels different. Dangerous. My desk phone blinks. Another line. I have to go, Emma. Keep this between us for now. Miss Reynolds? Sarah's voice crackles through the speaker. Your mother's here. Perfect timing, as always. I straighten my spine as Linda walks in, designer handbag swinging. Samantha, we need to talk about Sunday dinner. I'm in the middle of something, Mom. She sits without being invited. Your father and I are worried. Olivia says you've been hostile at work, refusing her help with the Morrison deal. That's not like you. I almost laugh. Not like me? She wouldn't know what I'm like. She's never bothered to find out. Did Olivia mention how she knew the details of my deal? Or why her fiancé's been interfering with my clients? Daniel's just trying to help, sweetheart. He has so much experience. Stop. My voice comes out sharper than intended. Just stop. Linda blinks, startled by my tone. I don't understand why you're being so difficult. Your sister's worried about you. We all are. My computer pings. Another email. This one's from Daniel's firm, announcing they're taking over the legal oversight of all Horizon's pending acquisitions. My hands curl into fists under the desk. Mom, I need you to leave. Samantha? Now. After she's gone, I pull up the anonymous email again, studying the paper trail. Olivia's fingerprints are all over it, but she's been careful. Always working through intermediaries, using Daniel's connections to stay just out of reach. My phone buzzes with a text from Olivia. Heard Mom stopped by. Dinner on Sunday? We should talk about the Morrison fallout. The Morrison fallout. As if she hadn't orchestrated every bit of it, I open my bottom drawer, pulling out the old diary. Its pages are filled with years of careful documentation. Every slight, every manipulation, every coincidence that worked in Olivia's favor. I add today's revelations to the list, then reach for my phone. Emma, I need everything you have on those SEC discrepancies. And I mean everything. Sam, be careful. If you're thinking what I think you're thinking, they're not going to stop. I cut her off. You've seen the evidence. They'll keep pushing until they've stripped away everything I've built. A pause. What are you going to do? I look at the family photo on my desk, taken at Olivia's law school graduation. Everyone beaming at her while I stand at the edge, half cropped out of the frame. With deliberate movements, I turn the frame face down. What I should have done years ago. But I need your help. You know I'm in. But Sam, make sure this is really about justice and not just revenge. There's a difference. Is there? I'm not so sure anymore. My computer pings again. An invitation to Sunday dinner sent to the whole family. Olivia's added a note. Let's put all this business tension behind us. Family first, right? Family first. The words that have excused every betrayal, justified every sacrifice demanded of me. I pick up my phone one last time, typing a response to Olivia's dinner invitation. Looking forward to it. You're right. We have a lot to discuss. Let her think she's won. Let them all think I'm finally falling in line. They have no idea what's coming. Sunday dinner feels like walking into a trap. Crystal glasses catch the evening light, reflecting fractured patterns across the dining room walls. My mother's best china. The set she only uses for Olivia's achievements. The Morrison deal made the financial papers. Daniel announces, passing the wine. Though I hear there were some irregularities in the final documentation. I meet his gaze across the table. Nothing irregular about it, unless you've heard otherwise from your contacts. Olivia's fork pauses halfway to her mouth. Sam, let's not discuss business. This is family time. Is it? The words slip out before I can stop them. Funny how family time always coincides with your agenda. Mom sets down her glass too hard. Samantha, What's gotten into you lately? I'd like to know that too, Olivia adds, her concern perfectly pitched. You've been so defensive since the merger. My phone vibrates. Emma's third message of the evening. I know without looking it's about the new evidence we've uncovered. Documents showing Daniel's firm deliberately mishandled regulatory filings, creating delays that benefited their other clients. All trace back to meetings with Olivia. How's the wedding planning going? Dad asks, desperate to change the subject. Actually, Daniel straightens his tie. We've moved up the date, and we have some exciting news about my firm's expansion. We're acquiring several smaller practices, including Matthews & Sons. My grip tightens on my fork. Matthews & Sons handles all of Horizon's regulatory compliance. That's wonderful, Mom beams. Isn't it wonderful, Samantha? Fascinating timing, I say, watching Olivia's face. Right after they filed our merger paperwork. A flash of something, worry, crosses her features before she smooths it away. Daniel's firm has been planning this for months. Not everything's about you, Sam. No, I agree softly. Usually it's all about you. The room goes silent. Dad shifts uncomfortably while Mom's face hardens into familiar disappointment. I should check on dessert. Olivia stands, the perfect hostess deflecting tension. Sam, help me in the kitchen? I follow her, knowing this confrontation was inevitable. The kitchen door swings shut behind us. Whatever you think you're doing, she hisses, dropping the sweet sister act. Stop it, now. Or what? You'll have Daniel bury more SEC filings? Feed more insider information to our competitors? She blanches. You don't know what you're talking about. I have proof, Olivia. Every meeting, every leaked document, every coincidental delay that benefited your fiancé's clients. You're being paranoid. But her hands shake as she reaches for the dessert plates. Daniel and I are trying to help you. You're too inexperienced to see the bigger picture. The bigger picture? I laugh, the sound harsh in the pristine kitchen. Like how you helped with my college applications? Or how you helped by telling the board I wasn't ready for the Morrison deal. That was for your own good. Stop lying. My palm slams against the counter. A dessert plate rattles off the edge, shattering on the floor. The kitchen door opens. Daniel stands there, his lawyer's mask firmly in place. Everything okay in here? Fine, Olivia says quickly. Just a little accident. I look at the broken pieces of china, another perfect metaphor for this family. No, not an accident, and not fine. My phone buzzes again. This time I read Emma's message. SEC documents confirmed. Meeting tomorrow, 9 a.m. Time to move? I pocket the phone, studying my sister's face. The facade is cracking, showing glimpses of the desperate climber beneath. She's always needed to win. To be first, to be best. Even if it meant destroying everyone else's chances. I'm leaving, I announce, walking past Daniel. Thanks for dinner. Sam, wait, Olivia calls after me. Whatever you're thinking of doing. I turn back one last time. You know what's funny? You've spent so much time watching me, making sure I don't overshadow you, that you never noticed I was watching right back. Every move, every manipulation, every little power play. I learned from the best, sis. The color drains from her face as understanding dawns. See you at the office tomorrow. I add pleasantly. I hear the SEC audit team is doing surprise inspections. Should be interesting. I leave them standing there amid broken china and shattered pretenses. Tomorrow, everything changes. Tomorrow, I stop being the good little sister who knows her place. Let them enjoy their family dinner. It's the last one they'll have for a while. The SEC investigators arrive at 9:15 a.m. sharp. I watch from my office as they file into the conference room, briefcases heavy with evidence I've helped compile. Through the glass walls, I see Olivia arrive, her usual confidence faltering when she spots the federal badges. My phone lights up. Grandmother Martha. Are you sure about this, sweetheart? Some bridges can't be rebuilt. I don't respond. Can't. The weight of what I'm about to do sits like lead in my stomach. Miss Reynolds? Sarah appears at my door. They're ready for you. The conference room falls silent as I enter. Daniel's already there, his lawyer mask cracking around the edges. 2 empty chairs remain, one beside the SEC team, one beside my sister. I take neither. Instead, I stand, placing a thick folder on the table. Before we begin, Daniel starts, I want to note that these allegations are completely unfounded. The documentation suggests otherwise. I slide copies of the folder toward each investigator. Detailed records of information leaks, manipulated filings, and coordinated delays in regulatory approvals. Olivia's face drains of color as she sees the familiar dates, meetings, phone records. Sam, what are you doing? My job. The lead investigator clears his throat. Miss Reynolds has been instrumental in uncovering a pattern of securities violations. The conference room door bursts open. Mom storms in, Dad trailing behind her. What is the meaning of this? Her voice shakes with fury. Samantha, stop this nonsense immediately. Mrs. Reynolds, this is a closed meeting. An investigator begins. She's destroying her sister's life. Mom's mascara runs as tears start. Over what? Jealousy? Linda. Dad tries to intervene, but she's beyond reason. We gave you everything. She spits at me. The same opportunities, the same love. A harsh laugh escapes me. The same love? When's my graduation photo going up on the wall, Mom? When do I get Sunday dinner celebrations for my achievements? That's different. Why? My voice rises despite my efforts to stay professional. Because Olivia's the golden child? Because she plays your perfect daughter while sabotaging everyone around her? Sam, please. Olivia's voice cracks. We can fix this. Whatever you want, a better position, more recognition, we can make it happen. Still trying to manipulate the situation? I open another folder. Like you manipulated the Morrison deal? The SEC filings? The board meetings? Daniel stands abruptly. This meeting is over. My client... Sit down, Mr. Harrison. The lead investigator's tone could freeze hell. We're just getting started. My phone buzzes again. Emma. Grandpa George had a heart attack. Hospital. Come now. The room spins. I grip the table edge, trying to stay upright as past and present collide. Sam? Olivia notices my distress. For a moment, she sounds like my sister again. The real one, before ambition and rivalry poisoned everything. What's wrong? I look at the evidence spread across the table. Years of documentation. Months of planning. My perfect revenge, served cold and calculated. But Grandpa George's words echo. Make sure you don't lose yourself getting there. Miss Reynolds? The investigator prompts. Shall we continue? Mom's still crying. Dad looks lost. Olivia stares at me with a mixture of fear and something else. Recognition, maybe. Of what we've both become. The investigation will proceed. I say finally, my voice hollow. But I need to step out. Family emergency. Running away? Daniel sneers. Like always? I gather my things, hands trembling. No. Unlike you, I'm choosing family over winning. Even if they never chose me. At the door, I turn back one last time. The evidence speaks for itself. You don't need me here to finish this. Samantha, Olivia calls out, desperation cracking her perfect facade. Don't go, please. We can talk about this. We had years to talk, Olivia. Years to be real sisters. But you chose competition and I chose revenge. Look where it got us. I leave them there. My sister facing professional ruin, my parents facing family destruction, all orchestrated by the daughter they never saw. In the elevator, I finally read Grandmother Martha's text fully. Your grandfather's last words before they took him to surgery. Tell Samantha revenge costs more than the price of winning. The doors close on my reflection, and I don't recognize the person staring back. The headlines hit like artillery fire. SEC investigation rocks Horizon Investments. Legal dynasty faces ethics probe. Sibling rivalry leads to corporate scandal. Grandpa George survived surgery, but I haven't visited. Can't face his disappointment. Instead, I watch through my office window as Daniel clears out his firm's satellite office down the street. 3 days since the investigation went public, and the vultures are already circling. My office door opens without a knock. Olivia stands there, mascara smeared, designer suit wrinkled. She's clutching a newspaper. Happy now? Her voice cracks. You've destroyed everything. You did that yourself. I keep my tone neutral, professional. Every leaked document, every manipulated filing, I did it for us. She slams the paper down. To protect our family's reputation. Do you know what people would say if they knew Mark Reynolds' daughter was handling million-dollar deals? A small-town cafe owner's kid? So you sabotaged my work to protect our image? I tried to guide you. Keep you from reaching too high, too fast. If you'd failed. You mean when you made me fail? The words taste like metal. The college applications, the board meetings, the Morrison deal? She sinks into a chair, suddenly looking older than her 26 years. Mom and Dad couldn't handle another disappointment. Another? I lean forward. When was the first? Me. Her laugh is bitter. Perfect Olivia. Harvard Law, Daniel's fiancé. All smoke and mirrors, Sam. Every achievement bought or manipulated because I couldn't bear to be anything less than extraordinary. The confession hits harder than any revenge I'd planned. What are you talking about? Daniel's firm paid for my LSAT scores. Dad mortgaged the cafe to fund my Harvard tuition. I've been drowning in expectations since I was 12, and the only way to stay afloat was to make sure no one looked too closely, especially not my brilliant little sister. My phone buzzes. Emma warning me about reporters in the lobby. I ignore it. Why are you telling me this now? Because it's over. Olivia's hands shake as she pulls out an envelope. Daniel's called off the engagement. The Bar Association's opening an ethics investigation. Mom can barely look at me. I've lost everything, and the worst part? Her voice breaks. The worst part is I deserve it. I should feel triumphant. This is what I wanted. Olivia broken, her perfect life shattered. Instead, I feel hollow. What's in the envelope? My resignation and... She slides another document across the desk. A full confession. Every detail of what I did to undermine you. Use it however you want. This won't fix anything. I know. She stands, smoothing her skirt with trembling hands. But maybe it's a start. The elevator dings outside. Through the glass walls, I see our parents step out. Mom's aged a decade in 3 days. Dad looks lost. His confident stride replaced by uncertainty. They're here to help me pack up my office. Olivia explains. One last family gathering. I think of Grandpa George in his hospital bed, of his words about success and revenge, of bridges burned and prices paid. Wait. I reach for my desk drawer, pulling out the old diary. Take this too. She recognizes it immediately. The going away present? Every manipulation, every slight, every moment of favoritism. I documented it all, planning my revenge. I push it toward her. Keep it. Remember what ambition cost us both. Olivia picks up the diary, fingers tracing the butterfly cover. We could have been amazing together, you know. If I hadn't been so scared of your shadow outshining my light. Our parents hover outside, watching through the glass, but afraid to enter. The space between us feels like miles of broken trust and wasted years. Go, I say quietly. They're waiting. At the door, she pauses. For what it's worth, I am proud of you, Sam. You became extraordinary without any smoke or mirrors. I watch them leave, my fractured family, carrying boxes of Olivia's corporate life. The victory tastes like ashes. My phone buzzes again. This time, it's Grandmother Martha. George is asking for you. Says it's time to rebuild what revenge tore down. I look at my reflection in the darkening window. Success is the best revenge, Grandpa had said. But he never mentioned its cost. Dad's cafe smells the same. Coffee and cinnamon rolls, memories baked into the worn floorboards. I find him behind the counter, gray hair more prominent than I remember, shoulders stooped under an invisible weight. "Your mother's at the house with Olivia," he says without looking up, moving her things back home. "I'm not here for them." I slide onto a bar stool, the same one I used to occupy doing homework while Olivia charmed customers. "Grandpa George suggested I start with you." His hand's still on the coffee pot. "He's doing better?" "Physical therapy twice a week. Says watching this family fall apart is worse than the heart attack." Dad pours 2 cups, muscle memory adding exactly the right amount of cream to mine. "Some things don't change, even when everything else has." "The cafe's mortgaged to the hilt," he says finally. "For Olivia's Harvard dreams. I thought I was investing in her future, in our family's legacy, while betting against mine." He flinches. "We never meant to make me feel worthless? To push me so far into Olivia's shadow that revenge felt like the only way out?" The coffee burns my throat. "You succeeded anyway." The morning silence stretches between us, broken only by the hiss of the espresso machine. A few early customers glance our way, then quickly look down at their phones. "I found this yesterday." Dad pulls out a creased envelope from under the counter. "Your Columbia acceptance letter. The one Olivia said got lost in the mail." My hands shake as I take it. The seal's broken. The dreams inside long since expired. "I was cleaning out the office," he continues. "Found a whole box. Your academic awards, scholarship offers, recommendation letters, everything Olivia intercepted. But that's not the worst part." His voice cracks. "The worst part is I'm not surprised. I knew who she was becoming, who we were helping her become. And I did nothing." Through the cafe window, I watch people hurrying past, living their normal lives untouched by our family's implosion. The newspaper headlines have faded, but the wreckage remains. "The board's promoting me," I say. "Head of acquisitions. Apparently exposing corporate fraud looks good on a resume." "Samantha, I'm selling my shares in the cafe." His head snaps up. "What?" "You need capital to clear the mortgage. I have it." I pull out the paperwork. Clean slate, no strings. "Why would you?" "Because revenge cost me my sister, my family, my peace of mind." I push the documents across the counter. Maybe redemption starts with letting go. The bell above the door chimes. Mom enters, looking smaller somehow, less certain of her place in the world. Behind her, Olivia hesitates at the threshold, the prodigal daughter afraid to come home. "Sam." Mom's voice wavers. "We didn't expect—" "I was just leaving." I stand, straightening my suit jacket, armor against the vulnerability of this moment. "Wait." Olivia steps forward. She's wearing jeans and a simple sweater, stripped of her designer facade. "I found your diary. Read it cover to cover." She places it on the counter between us. "You should keep it. Remember what we both lost." I look at my family. Dad clutching the cafe paperwork like a lifeline. Mom hovering uncertainly. Olivia standing alone. The perfect picture shattered, leaving something raw and real in its place. "Keep it," I say. "I'm starting a new one." At the door, I pause. "Sunday dinner is at 6, right?" Grandpa George says he's craving Dad's pot roast. The hope that flickers across their faces almost breaks me. Almost. "I'll bring wine," Olivia offers quietly. Something cheap and honest. I nod once, then step into the morning light. My phone buzzes. Emma reminding me about tomorrow's board meeting, about the future waiting to be built from the ashes of the past. Success is the best revenge, Grandpa always said. But maybe, just maybe, forgiveness is the better victory. I don't look back as I walk away. Some bridges can't be rebuilt. But maybe we can build new ones, stronger for knowing how easily the old ones burned. The diary stays on the counter behind me. Butterfly cover faded but intact. A reminder of who we were, who we became, and who we might still be.